We're
Got it.
live.
7 minutes. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for having me. So 7 minutes for seniors. I am Chris with Modified Independence here with Mike Jorgensen
Good morning.
from Senior Counsel. We're here at the office on Park Street in Riverside. Yeah. Thank you for coming all the way up from St. Augustine.
Thank you for having me, Chris. Chris is one of my very best friends, and I like the work that he does.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I did not realize that you had surgery a week ago. So thank you for being here. This is what a trooper he is. So anyway, so this is 7 minutes for seniors. We'll jump right into it. We're going to talk about seniors and everything like that along the way. But I want you to tell everybody a little bit about you. Where are you from? Who are you? Who are you related to? All that good stuff.
Thank you. Well, Chris, I've lived in Jacksonville, Florida since 1986. I originally came down with the Internal Revenue Service, which didn't win me any friends or make me any very popular. And I did that for 4 years as a tax trial attorney.
Okay.
And then I went into private practice and represented banks and creditors and helped protect people's estates against creditors.
Mm.
And then the bank was sold, and I went into teaching for 12 years. And that's when I started the elder law clinic at the law school. And for 12 years, ran the elder law clinic, taught property, taught tax, taught several courses. And then in 2008, I started this firm. We have 4 attorneys, a paralegal, a couple of assistants. We are elder law attorneys. And what that means is we're very much like estate planners. We can do your wills and your trusts and your verbal powers of attorney and healthcare surrogates. But we can do something that the estate planners cannot. And that is we can help protect your assets for long-term care. So if you ever needed nursing home care or assisted living or even care in the home, we are the only group of attorneys that understand how that works. And we pick up things that our estate planners and our family law attorneys just don't even see.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I know I was sitting in the parking lot waiting because you got stuck in traffic coming from St. Augustine. And I've made that trip many times. I lived in St. Augustine for quite a while. But I was thinking, I got a letter yesterday about a situation for a friend.
Okay.
He passed away in December of last year.
Okay.
His home has been locked up, sealed up in probate. Everything inside of it was sold except for 2 antique cars that are in the garage. The cars have not been touched. The home has not been touched. The electricity has been off while all of this is in probate. And got a letter yesterday that one of the rehab centers in the area actually filed suit for the sale of the cars in order to be able to recoup the costs of their rehab.
Okay.
And I can't help but think that if he had had his ducks in a row a little better, that what he intended for his home and his cars would have actually come to fruition. And instead, he's dead, and a bunch of people are making decisions about his estate because of the money that he owes.
Boy, Chris, you couldn't have said more true words. We see this all of the time. We see people's intentions frustrated because they don't plan. Now, there's a lot of commotion, there's a lot of chaos in the world, and we can't help that. That's always going to be a burdensome to us. But the one thing we can do is we can help plan for ourselves. We can control what we plan. And you're absolutely right. We had a friend in community hospice, and the sister called me up and said, my brother is dying, but he's been estranged from his daughter for 25 years. He's worth several $1 million. She's getting 95% of the estate, but he wants it to go to herself, myself, and my sister, who have been his caregivers. So I dropped everything, and I ran down to the hospice with all of the documents in place, and he never woke up, and he died that night. And so we know what his intentions were.
Yeah.
They were fresh. and the whole estate, or 95% of it, went to the estranged
daughter.
Yeah, and the sisters got nothing,
Yeah.
or very little.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. And that's why we plan, right?
We can plan, because if we plan, the courts can honor our decisions.
Yeah.
And that is why it's so important to put it in writing,
Mm-hmm.
because you will have unintended consequences in most cases.
Yeah. Yeah. And those unintended consequences are really like throwing a hand grenade in the middle of a family reunion.
Yeah.
Because everybody in the family is like, well, I wanted the china and I wanted the paintings and I wanted the photos, and and none of that is actually translated to anybody. And instead, the only people that end up getting paid, the only people that end up being insured that they get what they're owed, is all the creditors when you die. That's the only people that the court represents in the long run.
That's absolutely true. And even some creditors get denied. And that's when you die.
Yeah.
Just as important is when you're alive.
Yeah.
Like when my sons turned 18, they prepared the power of attorney, the healthcare surrogate, the living will. And that was primarily because I did not want a guardianship court who was not going to take time to get to know them, making all of their decisions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So before we run out of time, go ahead and tell everybody how they can get a hold of you: phone number, email, website, address, everything like that.
Well, thank you, Chris. My name is Mike Jorgensen, and the name of my law firm is Senior Counsel. We're at 2318 Park Street, Jacksonville, Florida, in Riverside. My phone number is 904-619-8890, or you can also email us at mjorgensen@seniorcounsellaw.com, and that's SENIORCOUNSELLAW.com. And be sure in Jorgensen, it's JORGENSEN, because if you put SON, I will never get it.
Yeah. And all of that's going to be in the credits at the end. Do you have any social media links? YouTube, Facebook? Are you a TikToker? What do you do?
Well, I do for my wood sculpturing, but not for my law firm. My law firm is all just on the web.
Just all on the web. Okay.
And we get 98% of our cases from referrals.
That's awesome.
Which is the best way.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you. We'll be back for our second segment. And y'all have a great day. Feel free to check his stuff out and reach out to either of us if you have any questions. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Yep, absolutely.